You're not going to find this information anywhere else. You can Google it, you can ask ChatGPT, they're not going to have a clue because what you're about to learn can only be learned through experience. I've been in crypto for 6 years, I've helped millions of investors secure their crypto, and I've worked with some of the biggest names in the space to teach these core fundamentals. But anyways, here's 9 things you should never do after buying crypto. First, never assume the IRS isn't watching. Whether you like it or not, the IRS requires you to report all of your crypto activity on your tax form. That's why the tax form asks if you've received, sold, or exchanged virtual currency throughout the year. It doesn't matter if we all agree taxes are a scam. The consequences for failing to report your crypto transactions on your tax return is considered tax evasion or tax fraud. The IRS has already made it clear they're cracking down on non-compliance, so not reporting your crypto transactions can lead to an audit later on. This can lead to penalties up to $100,000 on top of what you might already owe from any profits that you made in crypto. And because everything is tracked in crypto, especially if you start out on an exchange, there is always a trail leading back to you, even if you send crypto to external wallets, so make sure to pay your taxes. Number 2, never keep crypto on the exchange. A crypto exchange is by far the worst place to hold your crypto, mainly because it's not actually your crypto, it's more like an IOU because the exchange holds your crypto in their wallets. Also, you're not actually in control, the exchange is. That's why you can find thousands of complaints from crypto exchange users claiming that their funds are frozen or their entire account is locked with no way to access what is supposed to be their crypto, and this is exactly what happened to me on Coinbase. But aside from not actually owning the crypto, exchanges aren't as safe as most people think. Since 2014, more than 400 crypto exchanges have shut down, many of them taking users' funds with them. For example, Mt. Gox used to be one of the largest Bitcoin exchanges in the world until filing for bankruptcy in 2014 after losing hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins that belonged to customers in the company. The funds were never fully recovered, and the reimbursement process is still ongoing to this day. And that's just one example. If you've ever heard the phrase, not your keys, not your crypto, this is exactly what that phrase is talking about. Now, usually when people learn exchanges aren't safe, they move their crypto to something like a crypto wallet app, which brings us to our next mistake. Never store large amounts of crypto on a crypto wallet app. Crypto wallet apps like MetaMask, Trust Wallet, and Exodus are technically a step above exchanges in terms of security because at least you own the key to your crypto, also known as the seed phrase. That means no one but you controls your crypto, so no one can freeze your funds or lock your account, but these apps create a false sense of security. Yes, you own your key, but where that key is stored is where the real danger lies. Wallet apps store the keys used to access and manage your crypto in the software on your internet connected device like your phone or computer. So your keys are exposed to every threat that comes with being online. Malware, spyware, and even something as simple as updating your browser extension can open a door for attackers to steal your crypto. This just happened with the popular Trust Wallet extension. Hackers were able to inject a malicious seed phrase stealing code into the extension, they forced an update, and then they walked away with an easy $7 million from unsuspecting users. This is the risk of keeping your crypto on wallet apps. So what do you use instead? Well, that leads us to the next mistake. Never avoid using cold wallets. Cold wallets are the most secure way to store your crypto. They keep your key offline in a secure chip so hackers, scammers, and malware can't touch it. But here's the problem most people run into. They're way too difficult to use, they're confusing, and it's impossible to know which one to get. At least those are the most common excuses I hear from people on the channel who really want to secure their crypto but think that they need a computer science degree to use a cold wallet. Well, I've got good and bad news for you. The bad news is, yes, you have to learn how to use a cold wallet. There is a slight barrier to entry. The good news is you don't need a degree. You don't need to be an expert. You could just watch a YouTube video one afternoon and you'll have it down. That said, some cold wallets are much easier to use than others. I even avoid the more complex ones because they're really not that enjoyable to use. In my experience though, Tangem is the best cold wallet for beginners. Setup only takes a minute using your phone. There's no cables or firmware updates you need to worry about, and it's the only wallet I've seen people over 70 use successfully. So I'll drop a link and discount code to Tangem down in the description, along with my full step-by-step user guide if you want to check it out. Next, never send all your crypto at once, especially if you're new to crypto or you've never sent crypto before, because if you send your crypto to the wrong address, the likelihood that you'll get it back is basically zero. Crypto transactions are permanent. They can't be reversed. So if you make a mistake, you're stuck with that mistake. That's why until you're confident sending crypto, I always recommend sending a small amount, $5 to $10 at first, before sending the full amount. And before you send anything, double check every single character in the receiving address, because if you're off even by one character, all your crypto is gone. But that's not the only mistake you can make when sending crypto. Never send your crypto on the wrong network. This will also lead to you losing your crypto. Some cryptocurrencies exist on more than one network. For example, XRP can exist on the XRP ledger and the BNB network. So if the XRP you have on a crypto exchange is on the XRP ledger network, but you send it to a receiving address on the BNB network, it's not going to show up. So how do you know which network to send your crypto on? Well, it's pretty simple. Wherever you're sending your crypto from, whether that's a crypto exchange or a wallet, it should tell you what network that specific crypto is on. If it doesn't, then it should make you choose the network. So the network you send from must match the network of the address you're sending to. Same network, same coin, same address format. Fortunately, most crypto exchanges and even wallets will prevent you from sending cryptocurrency to a wrong network address, but do not rely on that. Always double check this yourself. Okay, switching gears here for a second, never trust crypto influencers' price predictions. This is easily the biggest mistake on this list. I've seen people lose millions of dollars listening to price predictions and coin picks from influencers. And a lot of these influencers, even the ones with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, are proven scammers. And you don't have to take my word for it, the proof is out there, all you have to do is look. And the truth is, there are very few actual crypto experts in the world. And what I mean by expert is someone who has the data, the knowledge to analyze that data, and then make price predictions or predictions on which coins will perform well over time. And a lot of people have asked me who are my favorite crypto YouTubers. Honestly, I don't watch crypto YouTubers. I just don't find any of them very valuable. Okay, switching gears again, never send crypto to someone promising returns. Have you seen those live streams on YouTube that promise you an instant 2 or 3x return if you send crypto to the QR code on the screen?
Stay safe, stay informed, and let's embrace the future of finance with open arms.
Yeah, I can't believe I have to say this, but that's a scam. Anyone, and I mean anyone, who claims that they can make you money in crypto is a scammer 11 times out of 10. Even if they don't scam you right away, it could take months, they'll earn your trust first so that they can extract as much money from you as possible before they take it all from you. This is actually known as a pig butchering scam. The scammer builds a romantic or some kind of emotional relationship with you through text message, social media, or even through dating apps. They take their time with you, often months, they earn your trust, then they convince you to invest more and more money to fatten you up before finally butchering you and taking all of your crypto. Unfortunately, I have talked to several people on this channel who have fallen for this exact scam. From what I've seen, it's usually men and women over the age of 50 who are targeted the most. Next, and this is a big one, never think that you're 100% safe. You will never be completely safe in crypto unless you use the right tools and continue to learn how to navigate this space safely. For example, just because you use a cold wallet does not mean you're immune to hacks and scams. A cold wallet is a tool. Just like a lock on your front door, if you don't lock the door, you're not using the tool correctly. You're basically inviting robbers into your house. A cold wallet works the same way. It will keep your crypto secure, but only if you use it how it was designed to be used. And there are 11 hidden traps I see people fall into with cold wallets that give them a false sense of security and eventually lead them to losing their crypto. But you can avoid every single one of those traps by watching this next video. I'll see you over there. God bless.